Ladies and gentlemen, do these things, men will treat you like a queen. Today we're going to talk about something fundamental: respect, value, and the undeniable power of character. If you want to be treated like a queen, you don't demand it, and you certainly don't manipulate your way into it. You earn it. The world isn't going to hand you admiration on a silver platter, and neither will men. But if you carry yourself with grace, discipline, and unwavering self-respect, you won't need to ask for it. It will be given to you freely. There are fundamental principles that shape how you are perceived, and when you embody them fully, people, especially men, will treat you with the dignity and reverence you deserve. Today, let's talk about what truly makes a woman worthy of being treated like a queen. Not entitlement, but excellence. If you want to be treated with respect, the first step is to embody self-respect in everything you do. People, especially men, take cues from how you treat yourself. If you carry yourself with confidence, set high standards, and refuse to compromise your dignity, others will recognize your worth. This isn't about arrogance or entitlement. It's about knowing your value and refusing to settle for anything less than what aligns with your self-worth. When you present yourself as someone who respects her time, emotions, and personal growth, the world responds in kind. It means not allowing yourself to be walked over, not accepting disrespect disguised as humor, and not staying in situations that make you feel small. It also means taking care of yourself, mentally, physically, and emotionally, because a person who values herself does not neglect her well-being. Respect is not something you demand with words. It's something you command with your presence, the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you hold yourself in a room. All of it signals to others how they should engage with you. If you consistently present yourself as someone who is strong, composed, and self-assured, people will naturally adjust their behavior to match. However, if you compromise on your standards, if you tolerate mistreatment, or if you let fear of loneliness keep you in toxic relationships, you are sending a message that your respect is negotiable. The world often treats people according to what they tolerate, and if you make excuses for bad behavior, it will only continue. The key is to be unwavering in your self-respect, not as a performance, but as a way of life. To be valued by others, you must first become someone of value. This means developing competence, intelligence, and emotional depth, qualities that make you not just desirable, but deeply respected. The mistake many people make is believing that they are entitled to admiration simply because they exist. But the truth is, respect and admiration are earned through consistent effort, personal growth, and the ability to contribute meaningfully to the world around you. A person who is competent commands attention without demanding it. When you walk into a room with confidence, backed by real skills, knowledge, and wisdom, people take notice. It's not about being the loudest or the most dominant presence. It's about carrying an aura of assurance that comes from knowing you have something valuable to offer. Whether it's in your career, your personal relationships, or even your daily interactions, competence creates an unshakable foundation for being treated with dignity and appreciation. Developing competence means investing in yourself in meaningful ways. It means educating yourself not just in an academic sense, but in practical real-world skills. Read books, learn new things, engage in conversations that challenge your perspectives. Emotional intelligence is just as important as intellectual ability, and being able to navigate social dynamics, understand people's intentions, and communicate effectively makes you someone who is not only respected, but also trusted. A person who has a sharp mind and a deep understanding of human nature is someone people naturally gravitate toward. Your competence should also extend to self-sufficiency, being independent, financially, emotionally, and mentally. Gives you a sense of control over your own life. When you rely too heavily on others for your happiness, stability, or sense of self-worth, you become vulnerable to manipulation and mistreatment. True confidence comes from knowing that you are capable of standing on your own, that you can handle challenges without needing constant validation or support from those around you. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or refuse help when necessary, but rather that you should cultivate a sense of inner strength that makes you resilient in the face of adversity. Another crucial aspect of competence is discipline. People who achieve great things don't do so by accident. They are intentional about their growth, their habits, and their decisions. Discipline means making choices that align with your long-term goals, even when they are difficult. It means prioritizing your well-being, staying consistent in your efforts, and refusing to be swayed by temporary distractions. When you are disciplined in how you live your life, you build credibility and reliability, which are key factors in earning respect from others. It's also important to recognize that competence is not about perfection. No one expects you to have all the answers or to be the best at everything. What matters is the willingness to learn, to adapt, and to continuously strive for improvement. People respect those who acknowledge their weaknesses and work to overcome them rather than those who pretend to be flawless. Humility, combined with a strong work ethic, is a powerful combination that makes you both admirable and approachable. When you develop yourself into a person of substance, you won't have to chase validation from others. The right people will naturally recognize your worth, and you will find yourself surrounded by individuals who respect and appreciate you for who you truly are. Being valued is not about demanding attention or proving yourself constantly. It is about embodying qualities that make you undeniably worthy of admiration. The way people treat you is often a reflection of the standards you set for yourself. If you want to be treated with respect, kindness, and admiration, you must first establish clear boundaries that communicate what is and isn't acceptable in your life. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you. They are guidelines that help you protect your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. When you set strong boundaries, you send a powerful message that you value yourself enough to demand integrity and decency from those around you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is tolerating behavior that they know is unacceptable simply because they fear losing a relationship or being perceived as difficult. But allowing someone to overstep your boundaries does not make you more likable. It makes you easier to take advantage of. The reality is that people will treat you based on what you allow. If you let someone speak to you disrespectfully once without consequence, they will assume they can do it again. If you continually forgive broken promises without accountability, you teach others that your time and trust are not valuable. Setting boundaries is about teaching people how you expect to be treated, and if they cannot respect those expectations, they do not deserve a place in your life. Having boundaries means being clear and direct in your communication. Many people struggle with this because they fear confrontation or rejection. But true self-respect requires the courage to stand up for yourself. If someone is behaving in a way that makes you uncomfortable, addressing it calmly but firmly is crucial. You do not have to be aggressive or hostile, but you must be unwavering. Saying things like, "I don't appreciate being spoken to that way," or "I will not tolerate dishonesty in my relationships" is not rude. It is self-respect in action. Those who truly care about you will recognize and honor your boundaries, while those who resist or push against them are revealing that they do not have your best interests at heart. Another key aspect of boundaries is knowing when to walk away. No matter how much you may care about someone, if they consistently ignore your limits, disrespect your values, or make you feel small, it is not your job to change them. It is your job to remove yourself from the situation. Walking away is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of self-worth. The more you tolerate unacceptable behavior, the more you reinforce the idea that it is acceptable. But when you have the strength to leave toxic environments, you make room for relationships that are built on mutual respect, honesty, and kindness. Setting boundaries also means having a clear sense of your own values. When you know what you stand for, you are less likely to be swayed by external pressure or manipulation. Many people find themselves compromising their beliefs to fit in or to avoid conflict, but this only leads to resentment and a loss of self-respect. Being firm in your values does not mean being rigid or unwilling to listen to different perspectives, but it does mean refusing to bend in ways that compromise your integrity. People admire and respect those who stand by their principles, even if they do not always agree with them. It is also important to recognize that boundaries are not just about how others treat you. They are also about how you treat yourself. If you do not respect your own time, energy, and well-being, others will not either. This means learning to say no when necessary, prioritizing your mental health, and avoiding situations that drain you emotionally. It means refusing to overextend yourself to please others at the expense of your own peace. When you practice self-respect in your daily life, it sets a standard that others naturally follow. At the core of it all, setting boundaries and demanding integrity is about recognizing that you are deserving of respect, kindness, and honesty. You do not have to beg for these things or convince anyone to give them to you. The right people will understand your worth and treat you accordingly. The more you honor yourself, the more you attract relationships that reflect that same level of honor. True strength is not about being the loudest person in the room, nor is it about exerting control over others. Real strength is found in grace, composure, and the ability to remain kind even in the face of adversity. Many people mistakenly believe that kindness is a sign of weakness, that being gentle makes a person easy to manipulate or take advantage of. But the reality is that kindness, when rooted in self-respect and wisdom, is one of the most powerful traits a person can possess. A woman who carries herself with grace commands attention, not by demanding it, but by naturally drawing others in with her presence. She does not need to raise her voice to be heard or resort to cruelty to prove her strength. Her power lies in her ability to handle difficult situations with poise, to speak with confidence without arrogance, and to offer kindness without being naive. This kind of presence is rare, and it makes people take notice. Those who truly understand strength recognize that it is much harder to remain calm in the face of conflict than it is to lash out in anger. Grace is not about letting people walk all over you. It is about knowing when to respond and when to walk away. It is about choosing your battles wisely and refusing to let temporary frustrations dictate your actions. A woman who possesses true inner strength does not let the negativity of others shake her. She does not need to prove herself to anyone because she already knows her worth. When she is wronged, she does not seek revenge. She simply removes herself from situations that do not align with her values. This level of emotional control is what makes people respect and admire her. Kindness, when coupled with self-respect, is an incredible force. It means treating others with decency and compassion, not because you are weak, but because you understand that cruelty serves no real purpose. It means helping others when you can, offering words of encouragement, and being a source of positivity in a world that can often be harsh. However, this kindness is not given at the expense of your dignity. There is a difference between being kind and being a pushover. A strong person knows how to set boundaries while still treating others with respect. One of the most important aspects of strength is emotional intelligence. People with high emotional intelligence understand how to navigate complex social situations, how to read people's intentions, and how to respond in ways that maintain their self-respect. They do not allow their emotions to control them, nor do they allow others to manipulate them. This ability to remain steady, even in difficult situations, makes a person incredibly powerful. When you are in control of your emotions, you are in control of your life. Another critical component of strength is the ability to forgive without forgetting. Holding on to resentment only drains your energy and keeps you tied to negative experiences. However, forgiveness does not mean allowing people who have hurt you back into your life. It means releasing the anger so that it no longer controls you. A strong person does not waste time dwelling on past pain. They learn from it, grow, and move forward with even greater wisdom. Confidence is another quality that makes kindness and grace even more powerful. When you believe in yourself, you do not feel the need to seek validation from others. You do not need to prove your worth because you already know it. This quiet confidence makes people take you seriously. It allows you to speak with authority without arrogance and to stand your ground without aggression. When confidence is paired with kindness, it creates a presence that is both admirable and unforgettable. People are drawn to those who exude strength without hostility, who can be firm without being harsh, and who can be kind without being weak. The ability to balance strength and compassion is rare, and it is what sets truly admirable individuals apart from the rest. Those who master this balance find that they do not need to demand respect. It is given to them freely. A woman who knows her worth does not chase people, she attracts them. She understands that genuine respect and admiration are not won by begging for attention or clinging to relationships that do not serve her. Instead, she carries herself with confidence and refuses to tolerate treatment that is beneath her standards. This does not mean she is arrogant or dismissive of others. Rather, she has a deep understanding of her own value and does not settle for less than she deserves. One of the greatest mistakes people make is holding on to the wrong individuals out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not finding better, fear of change. But allowing the wrong people to stay in your life only drains your energy and prevents you from welcoming those who will truly respect and appreciate you. Walking away is not an act of weakness. It is an act of strength. It is a declaration that you will not compromise your dignity for temporary comfort. It is recognizing that being alone is far better than being surrounded by people who do not value you. People often stay in toxic relationships because they hope things will change. They make excuses for mistreatment, telling themselves that if they just try harder, if they just give more, the other person will finally recognize their worth. But respect is not something you have to earn from the wrong people. It is something that the right people will give you naturally. If someone consistently disregards your feelings, disrespects your boundaries, or takes you for granted, they are showing you exactly who they are. Believing that you can change them is an illusion. The truth is, you cannot force someone to treat you well. You can only decide what you will and will not tolerate. Having the strength to walk away from the wrong people is not just about removing toxic individuals from your life, it is also about making room for better ones. When you choose to step away from relationships that drain you, you create space for those who will uplift you. You begin to attract people who share your values, who see your worth, and who treat you with the kindness and respect you deserve. These are the people who do not need to be convinced of your value. They recognize it naturally because they have the right mindset and character. Another critical part of walking away is understanding that you do not need validation from others to feel whole. A person who depends on external validation will always be at the mercy of others' opinions. But a person who knows their worth does not seek constant approval because they are already secure in themselves. This kind of self-assurance is magnetic. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, people are naturally drawn to you. They respect you because they see that you do not need them, you choose them. And there is a world of difference between needing someone out of insecurity and choosing someone out of genuine appreciation. Letting go of the wrong people also means letting go of old versions of yourself. The version that accepted less than she deserved. The version that tolerated mistreatment. The version that sought validation from the wrong places. The growth requires leaving behind what no longer serves you, even when it is difficult. It means understanding that your future is far more important than holding on to relationships that keep you stuck. There is immense power in knowing when to walk away. It is not about holding grudges or being cold-hearted. It is about prioritizing your peace and self-respect. It is about understanding that you do not have to chase people to be valued. The right people will never make you feel like you have to prove your worth. When you embrace this mindset, you stop wasting energy on those who do not appreciate you and start attracting those who truly do. At the heart of it all, being treated like a queen is not about demanding special treatment or seeking validation from others. It is about becoming a person of substance, strength, and unwavering self-respect. The way people treat you is often a direct reflection of how you carry yourself, the standards you set, and the boundaries you enforce. When you cultivate competence, command respect through your presence, and hold yourself to high standards, you naturally attract the right kind of admiration in relationships. A woman who knows her worth does not beg for attention or tolerate mistreatment. She understands that kindness is a form of strength, that boundaries are essential for self-respect, and that walking away from the wrong people creates space for the right ones. She does not seek to manipulate others into treating her well. She simply lives in a way that makes respect inevitable. The choice to become this kind of woman is in your hands. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and the courage to stand by your values, even when it is difficult. But when you commit to this path, you will find that the respect, admiration, and love you once sought from others will naturally come to you, not because you demanded it, but because you became the kind of person who commands it effortlessly.